People say that dark web is a very disturbing place to be in. So many movies, web series have already been made which have shown this concept of dark web, and rightly so, most of them have shown it in a very negative light. I'm sure most of you would have heard this terminology of dark web, but many of us would not have been able to understand at that moment how this system really works. What exactly is this unseen side of the internet? In this particular video, we are going to talk about all of that, so make sure that you watch this video till the end. Before we get deeper into the concept, let me talk about the very basics first. Now, most of us use internet on a very daily basis. While you are watching this video also, you are connected to the internet. What exactly is internet? The very basics, in a very layman language, internet is nothing but it is an interconnection of a lot of computers, and you can also connect to that network. So it is just a huge network of computers, and while you connect to that network, you can say that I am also connected to the internet. Now, internet usually works on several layers. If we talk about the internet, there are three basic layers in which you can divide the entire internet. Now, while we are going to talk about this, imagine a huge iceberg, right? And this is the tip of the iceberg. According to the data, according to the information that is available on the internet, people say that only this is the part of internet which is visible. So only this is the amount of internet that we are able to access daily on a day-to-day basis. Now, for example, this area or this particular part of the internet is called surface web, and it constitutes to only 4% of the internet. So for example, if you want to be connected to the internet, it is very simple, right? As soon as you want to surf the internet, what you do is you quickly have a software in your laptop or your mobile which are usually called browsers, right? Which are usually called browsers, like it may be Google Chrome, it may be Opera, it may be Safari, it may be Mozilla Firefox. So there can be so many browsers which you can use. With the help of those browsers, you can get connected to the internet, and then if you want to search something, you can very easily go on to any of the search engines, and whatever information you want to search here, you can quickly type and press enter. Whatever information is visible is located on the surface of the internet. So the point here is that only and only 4% of the information is visible to all, right? To access this information, you don't need any authorization. There are no passwords which are required. So this is going to be available for everybody, right? This is the internet which we see on a daily basis. But there is a bigger part of the internet, or the biggest part of the internet, which is located just beneath the surface web, which is usually called deep web. Now, what is deep web? Deep web is one area in which the information which is there cannot be accessed by everybody. So for example, the information can include banking information, it can include credit card accounts, it can have a lot of medical records, it can have financial records, legal documents. So to access this particular information, there has to be certain authorization which is to be required, right? So this is not going to be available for everybody. So this is also available on the internet, but to access this, there has to be certain authorization which has to be fulfilled. There is a deeper part of the internet which is level 3 of the internet which is not indexed at all. When I say it is not indexed at all, it means that nobody can access it. Only those people who know how to access it can access it, and that is the part which we are going to discuss in today's video lecture. This particular part of the internet is called the dark web, right? Now this is the part of the internet which is not here, it is not here, and this part constitutes to almost 4% of the internet. So 92% of the internet is just the data which has been stored for the people, right? It is called deep web. So deep web is actually the biggest portion of the internet. Now what exactly is dark web, and how are these two different? How is deep web and dark web, how are they both different? Now deep web, as I've already explained, is the information which is available, but to access you are required to have authorization, right? There has to be passwords, usernames to access this particular data. The information is always available on the internet, but this part of the internet is a little different. When we talk about the dark web, this refers to the sites that are not indexed right, that are not indexed means you cannot search about these things with the help of surface web. So the information which is a part of the dark web will not be available on any of the search engines. The way to connect this dark web is also very different, right? So how will you connect to this particular dark web is what we are going to discuss in the next slide. But to understand the very basics, whenever you have to connect to the surface web, there are several websites which are required to be made, and those websites usually use these extensions .com, .org, .edu, .mil, right? These are some of the basic registry operators which are being used. But when you have to connect or when you have to fetch data from the dark web, no, you cannot use these basic traditional browsers. There are separate browsers which are to be required. There are separate websites which are made, and they will not be using .com, .org, .in, .edu, .mil. No, the entire structure changes when you have to fetch information from the dark web. How do you actually access the dark web is another question which usually comes to mind. So this is one browser which is mostly used. It is called Tor. There is another browser which is called I2P. It is also very, continuously used or regularly used by people. But Tor browser is one which mostly is used by people who want to access the dark web. The full form says the onion routing, and the websites which are made, which can be accessed on the Tor browser, don't use .com, .org, .in. They will use always the registry operator with the name .onion. So the websites themselves will be different. So if you want to open this website in, let's say, Google Chrome, you will not be able to do that. Initially, in very initial stages, Tor itself, this particular browser, was created in 1990s by the government authorities only, right? So it was created by the United States Naval Research Laboratory to have certain private communications, to have certain spy communications, so that nobody could access that information. So initially this was a project which was taken up by the government itself, but later on more and more people came to know about this, and this is how now this particular browser has been used to access the dark web, where a lot of illegal activities are taking place on a daily basis, right? So how it works, it's very simple. This is a simple browser. It can be downloaded with the name Tor. Once you download it, there are going to be separate websites which you must be aware about. So if you are not aware about the websites which you want to go to, you will not be able to access that particular information or that particular website. So what happens is, usually there is a very closed group of people who are active on the dark web, and usually they are always the ones who receive this information so as to which particular website is active, which particular website is inactive. So if you have those links, you can quickly type that link here and quickly you will be connected to that particular website, right? It is going to be not indexed, so nobody will be aware of that information. Only you who has the access to that particular website will be able to see what has been mentioned there. So this particular browser allows users to connect to the dark web without fear of their actions being tracked or their browser history being exposed. So what exactly happens is, usually when you connect to the internet, the process is very simple. You will have a computer and there is going to be a server. You can simply connect. But what happens in case of Tor browser, it has several nodes, right? So if this is your computer and this is the internet, this is the usual path which is taken by this system to connect you to the internet. But what exactly Tor browser does is that, let's say you are sitting in India and this is the internet server, this is also located in India. Now what exactly happens is, in case of Tor, this signal will not directly go to this end, but it will, let's say, go to Pakistan, then it might go to China, then it might go to Germany, then from Germany it might so happen that it will connect you to the internet, right? So already your location has changed several times. Already now the government agencies or people who are watchdogs will not be able to see who and from where is this information accessed. And this is why what happens is the dark web, or what happens in the dark web, will be something which will chill you to the core, right? What exactly happens here? Now these are some of the websites which were shown by the FBI, or the FBI who has successfully now found these websites have been operating for a very long time now. So these websites, for example, let us talk about this particular website with the name armory.onion, right? So it will not be .com, it will be always .onion. So clearly you can see these are some of the weapons which are sold openly in this particular market. So clearly it has been mentioned, like for example AK-47 is getting sold for only $2,800. There is a discount which is going on currently. This was a particular website which was shut down by the FBI after it was seen that this was the most used website in the darknet, and on a very heavy amount, on or a very heavy note, these people were actually smuggling drugs across the world. Silk Road was one particular website which was taken down by the FBI. You can clearly see different kinds of drugs being sold, right? The prices also, if we compare with the normal system, the prices are very low. This is another website in which you can see somebody who wants to hire a hitman can very easily click on this order quantity and buy a hitman. Now it is clearly mentioned, if you look at this particular information which is mentioned here, it is very interesting. It says that we are a team of 3 contract killers and we are working in US plus Canada, and we can also deliver in the EU. Once you have made the purchase, we will reply you within 1 or 2 days. The contract will be completed within 1 and 3 weeks depending upon the movement of the target. Only rules, it says, only rules, no children under 16 and no top 10 politicians. Now just like you buy stuff on Amazon, very easily you can buy this particular hitman from here. Whatever pictures are to be shared, they will be uploaded and this person will be able to see what is his next target. So clearly evidence of contract killing happening every single day. Now this is also one news which were there in the market in 2020. While at that time the entire world was engulfed with COVID-19, there was a huge shortage of antigen test bodies, right? Antigen test equipments, and this antibody test kit was then sold on the darknet and people were actually buying it from the darknet, right? What are the kind of activities which are happening on the darknet and why people say that it is very disturbing? Look at these things: drug trafficking, human trafficking, information leakage, child pornography, frauds carding, arms trafficking, contracts killing, torture, revenge porn. In fact, there was this particular news article also which came. It said that there is a website where users can direct live torture and can hire hitmen, right? And the biggest issue is that most of these payments happen with the help of cryptocurrencies, and this is where the government again is trying to link illegal crime or illegal activity with cryptocurrency. And this is why again and again we are looking at a lot of news which are coming in the media that very soon the government is going to bring out the cryptocurrency bill, and we might see certain steps being taken to curb the use of cryptocurrency. What has happened really? It is not the case that the governments are not being able to do anything. If we talk about certain steps the government or the international landscape has taken, let us look at with respect to drug trafficking what has happened. I told you about this website. It was the world's largest dark web website at one point and they were selling drugs all across the world, but it was then shut down by the FBI in 2013. But apart from that, Silk Road got shut down, but there was another website which was opened with the name of Agora, right? But it was also then shut down last year in 2020. Again, a new website is now being found with the name of Alphabay, which currently today is the largest drug marketplace which is active on the darknet. There is, with respect to human trafficking, a location, a particular website on the dark web which is called Black Death, right? This particular website very frequently changes its URL. So people who are going to be only active users will be able to access this information, because if in case, like let's take an example, if in case suddenly you are able to access this particular website, the very next day the URL is going to be changed, right? So you will not be able to access it the next day. So people who are just a part of that closed group will be given this information. What is the next URL? Where is the website shifted now? And how can you access that information? Also, with respect to information, a lot of information is sold on the dark web. Now in 2017, information of around 1.4 billion people, the personal information was disclosed in plain text and was available for anybody and everybody. These are the kind of threats which dark web poses to the world. Now, if we talk about the Indian context, the issue is also alarming, right? This number here itself creates a lot of doubts in the mind. People who are Indians make up around 26% of the world's users who are using the dark web. So, if suppose 100 people across the world are using dark web, 26 people are from India, right? The number is huge. Also, if we talk about this particular authority, Saibal, recently, this is a cyber security firm, Saibal, and recently they said that around 5 lakh Zoom accounts were sold on the dark web, which were hacked in April 2020 while the entire world was suffering from COVID, and still we are looking at a situation, the situation can go wrong at any moment, right? And these accounts were then sold for less than 1 rupee each, right? So all of this information is usually sold on the darknet. A lot of credit card details are being sold on the darknet. There is one more organization called Arxiv. It is an open source platform which usually do research on computer science. So it shows that apart from the world, if we talk about just India, around 70% of the people who are using dark web in India, around 70% of the people belong to the age group of 18 to 35. And apart from 35, there is a significant population till 45 which accounts to around 16.8%, which is using the dark web or accessing the dark web on a regular basis. Now the question that will come to your mind automatically is accessing the dark web legal or illegal, right? Automatically this doubt will come to your mind. Now if we have to understand dark web, you have to understand that this is very much a part of the internet itself. So from the internet, is it possible for the government to say that only 2 parts of the internet can be accessed, 1 part of the internet is illegal? No, that is not something which the governments will be able to do. Also, if we have to understand this in a deeper manner, we have to understand that according to the Supreme Court or according to the Indian Constitution, if we talk about Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A, it says it gives us all freedom of speech and expression. If we talk about the right of, or we talk about the Article 19(1) or Subclause G, it says freedom of trade and profession. Now this particular 2 articles, the government or the Supreme Court has clearly mentioned that these 2 are the fundamental rights which are to be given to all the citizens of the country, right? And if these 2 are the fundamental rights, then the connection to the internet is the fundamental structure for utilization of these rights. So if today the government says that you cannot access internet, automatically this is an infringement on the Article 1A, freedom of speech and expression, and automatically it is an infringement on the Article 19(1) Subclause G, which says freedom of trade and profession. So definitely, if I have to give you a simple answer, is dark web or is accessing dark web legal or illegal? Nowhere it has been mentioned that it is illegal. So currently it is very much legal. Now to understand it in a better manner, let me take one example. Now let us look at this weapon, right? Now this weapon can definitely cause a lot of destruction, right? It is definitely going to can create a lot of problems also, right? But the government says that you can possess this particular weapon legally also. There is a legal framework, right? With a lot of documentation, with a lot of police verification, you can possess this particular weapon for your personal protection, right? So up till this point, possessing a weapon also becomes legal. Is it illegal? No. So it is very much legal. But what happens is, if I use this particular weapon to shoot someone, what is going to happen? Automatically, attempt to murder, right? Murder and voluntarily causing damage or voluntarily causing hurt with a dangerous weapon, these 3 sections will be applicable. Now this is your right, but infringing upon somebody else's right automatically becomes illegal, right? So this activity up till this point is very much legal, but when you talk about shooting someone and trying to indulge in their rights or trying to take their rights to life, this will automatically become an illegal activity, right? So this is where the difference is. So accessing the dark web is very much legal, but if tomorrow you are somebody who is indulged in an illegal activity with the help of dark web, automatically you will be doing an illegal activity, right? Now what has happened recently, the government, since now the government understands that more and more people are now accessing the dark web, the government has started a lot of channels where the government is trying to monitor who are the people who are trying to access this real-time basis. They are trying to find out their locations, right? So to say that dark web is a very safe place to be in, my recommendation is no. So if tomorrow your friend says, okay, let's for fun try and visit the website which is on the dark web, should you be doing that or should you be venturing into that? The answer is very simple, no, right? Automatically you will be in the radar of the government agencies. So I hope with the help of this particular video you were able to understand what exactly is this unknown and different concept of dark web. I hope you were able to gain something out of this video. For more such videos, please subscribe to our channel. We will have this session every week now. We will try to find out a relevant topic every single week, and I will come with a video every single week now. Take care guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.